Back in the 1970s, self-expression was everywhere. Bold outfits, disco beats, and a desire to show off individuality. That's when two inventors, Josh Reynolds and Marvin Wernick, decided to create something that would capture the spirit of the decade: the mood ring. Now, while Josh Reynolds and Marvin Wernick were the brains behind the idea, there's another name you should know: Maris Ambatz. Ambatz was the technical wizard in the mix, the guy who figured out how to make the ring actually work using thermochromic liquid crystals. Fancy talk for crystals that change color with temperature. Reynolds, with his jewelry background, and Wernick, with his knack for invention, teamed up with Ambatz to bring this quirky piece of jewelry to life. Their idea was simple. As your body temperature changed, the ring's colors would shift, supposedly reflecting your mood. It wasn't scientific, but it was fun, and that's what made it such a huge hit. Want to know how this flashy little ring became a cultural sensation? Oh, and by the way, if you're enjoying the ride so far, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Every thumbs up helps the algorithm, and trust me, it's not on our side. Now let's roll back to the 70s and get into the mood ring mystery. Our story of mood rings kicks off in 1975 thanks to the creative minds of two gemologists, Marvin Wernick and Josh Reynolds. They were on a mission to create a piece of jewelry that didn't just sit pretty on your finger, but also reflected your emotional state. Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But they weren't just dreaming. They were about to change the jewelry game forever. What made mood rings special? They were crafted using thermochromic liquid crystals, which change color based on temperature. So, if your hands were warmer than usual, maybe because you just ran up a flight of stairs or were nervously checking your phone, your mood ring would shift to a different hue. It's like the ring had a little personality of its own. But let's pause for a moment. Here's where things get interesting. These rings didn't just blow up because of their cool tech. They came at a time when self-expression was booming. The 70s were all about embracing individuality, and what better way to express yourself than through a ring that changed colors based on how you felt? As you might expect, mood rings quickly became a fashion staple. Imagine teenagers wearing these rings, dramatically announcing their feelings, while adults rolled their eyes and tried to comprehend how a piece of jewelry could determine someone's emotional state. The excitement was palpable, but was it all just a colorful facade? And just as quickly as they became popular, they also caught the attention of skeptics. Can a piece of jewelry really reflect our emotions? They wondered. This tension between belief and skepticism added another layer of intrigue to the trend. But wait, the story gets even more interesting. With their rise in popularity, mood rings promised to provide insights into your inner world. What color is it now? Became the go-to question in social circles. But let's be real. Was it really giving anyone a peek into your soul, or was it just a clever gimmick? The truth is, while mood rings were marketed as emotional gauges, the science behind them was a bit more complicated. Many people began to notice that their rings didn't always match their feelings. You might be feeling blissfully relaxed, only to glance down and see a fiery red staring back at you. Well, that's awkward, right? So, what was going on? It turns out that mood rings were influenced by numerous factors, not just your emotional state. Temperature changes, environmental conditions, and even your choice of snack could mess with the colors. Let's be honest, if you just polished off a spicy burrito, your ring might not be able to keep up with the heat. This led to some hilarious moments. "I swear I'm not mad, it's just the ring," became a common defense for mood ring wearers everywhere. What started as a whimsical accessory began to show its flaws, and the charm began to wear off. In addition to these amusing anecdotes, many mood ring enthusiasts began to notice patterns. Certain colors seemed to correlate with specific moods. For example, green might signify relaxation, while blue hinted at tranquility. People shared their experiences, creating a community of self-proclaimed mood ring experts. The camaraderie that formed around this colorful trend added to its charm, but also raised questions. Were we collectively getting it wrong? But wait, what happens next is where the plot thickens. Just as mood rings seemed to be fading from popularity, a twist was just around the corner. Fast forward to the late 90s and early 2000s when everything retro came back into style. Mood rings were suddenly the nostalgic item everyone wanted to get their hands on again. Why? Because let's face it, nostalgia is powerful. As pop culture embraced all things vintage, mood rings became the perfect accessory to evoke memories of carefree childhood days. TV shows and music videos showcased mood rings, often featuring them in quirky storylines. Can you picture it? Characters dramatically checking their rings for mood changes, creating a comedic goldmine. Social media also played a huge role in their revival. Suddenly, everyone was posting pictures of their mood rings, asking followers to guess their current state of mind based on color. "I'm feeling yellow today. What does that say about me?" became a popular caption. It was a fun way to engage with friends and followers, while also bringing a slice of the 70s back into the conversation. This nostalgia-fueled comeback led to mood rings being sold in modern stores, marketed with sleek designs and vibrant colors. They transformed from a simple childhood trinket into a chic accessory. What was once considered outdated had a new lease on life, captivating a whole new generation. But here's the twist. While mood rings regained popularity, the underlying science hadn't changed. People still held on to the idea that the rings were a way to express their emotions, even if the reality was more about temperature than feelings. The rings became symbols of fun, creativity, and nostalgia, rather than serious emotional gauges. Hay also inspired some hilarious memes, with people joking about the absurdity of wearing a piece of jewelry to determine their emotional state. All right, it's time for the big reveal. While mood rings might have been marketed as emotional indicators, the truth is far less mystical. Those enchanting color changes, they're based more on temperature fluctuations than any sort of deep emotional insight. Think about it. The color changes can be swayed by various factors beyond your emotions. How hot your hands are, how cold the room is, or even how much caffeine you've consumed. Yep, that love for coffee could totally change the color of your ring. So, when you wear a mood ring, you're not getting an accurate reflection of your feelings, you're getting a temperature report. And in the world of fashion and trends, sometimes that's enough to keep things exciting. Mood rings became symbols of fun, creativity, and nostalgia, rather than serious emotional gauges. As the years rolled on, mood rings became less about their supposed powers and more about the joy they brought. People enjoyed sharing the stories behind their rings, reliving the memories of when they first received one. "Oh, I remember getting my first mood ring at summer camp," someone might say, sparking a wave of nostalgia among friends. But here's a fun thought to leave you with. What if everything you thought you knew about mood rings was just a reflection of their colorful, whimsical history? They were designed to bring joy and spark conversation, and they succeeded beautifully. So, where do mood rings stand today? Surprisingly, they're still around. Modern interpretations often combine technology with that beloved concept of mood expression. Some brands are now integrating smart technology, creating rings that can connect to apps and track your mood based on various inputs. It's like Mood Rings 2.0. Imagine a ring that not only changes color, but also syncs with your phone to let you know when you might need a little break or relaxation. The idea of capturing and sharing our emotional states has never been more relevant, especially in a world where mental health awareness is gaining momentum. But let's not forget the traditional mood rings that sparked this whole phenomenon. They're still available and cherished by many who find joy in their vibrant colors. For some, they serve as a fun conversation starter, while for others, they are nostalgic tokens of a simpler time. So, whether you wear a vintage mood ring or a modern version, remember that it's less about the science and more about the memories and feelings associated with it. After all, isn't that what jewelry is all about? Now that you know the full story, what do you think? Are mood rings just silly relics of the past, or do they hold a special place in the hearts of those who wore them? Drop your ideas in the comments below.